Hello everyone, my name is Crow and welcome to another video review. I said I was going to do this review when I got my keyboard in. I'm going to be in this video doing a review on my keyboard and my mouse. Even though I've had this mouse for a while, it goes with the keyboard, so I figure I might as well do a review on that as well. If you watched my previous review video, then you've seen the review I did on my Audio Technica. I also mentioned my computer desk, my monitor, my old keyboard, all that good stuff. I didn't get into the specs of my computer. I might do that another time, but for now these videos are meant for the new revamping I've been doing. And so this time around I have my keyboard and my mouse, and next time around I'm probably going to be doing a new webcam, a new chair perhaps, like a mesh chair. I've been wanting to get one of those for a while. And let's see, what else? Maybe a new pair of headphones. So we'll see what goes on with that. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and take the webcam now and show you guys my new keyboard. So this keyboard isn't exactly anything amazing. It's called the Aula Befire. It is a keyboard made by Aula, just like my mouse. I have an Aula mouse as well. They're both illuminated. The mouse has several different colors. That's the Aula Ghost Shark. And the keyboard only has the one color. You can also purchase it in a red, but it stays the single color. You can use the function key and the 8 on the numpad, and you can change some of the stuff. Here you can see it's now set to breathing or pulsing, depending on what you want to refer to it as. A lot of gamers refer to this action as breathing, which is exactly how my mouse is currently. And I would set my keyboard to breathing, but the only thing is, when the lights aren't on, the keys are actually kind of hard to see. Because they're not white, they're like etched, like laser etched. So that's good for them not getting rubbed off, but unless you have really good lighting in your room, it's really hard to see the keys when the light isn't on. And then you can set it to full brightness right there. Click it again, and it goes to 50%. You can click it again and turn it off, and you can just use F8 and 2 to cycle through those. And I'm just gonna keep it at full illumination because my eyes are bad. It's actually a pretty solid keyboard. Of course, I just transferred from using a really low quality chiclet style keyboard that I showed momentarily in my previous review video. It's actually, I'm getting used to it fairly quickly, but note there's really nothing extremely impressive about it. It's not a mechanical keyboard. It doesn't have any special action keys, so to refer to it as a gaming keyboard isn't exactly accurate, because it doesn't do anything spectacular out of the normal other than light up and pulse, which that's hardly notable. That's hardly worthy of being called gaming grade anything, really. I noticed looking at the footage of my webcam, this is actually coming off a lot brighter than it actually is looking directly at it. In the webcam, it looks kind of like a cyan, like a light blue. When you look directly at it, it's actually a dark blue. It's still noticeably bright, but it's not nearly as bright as the webcam makes it look. There's one interesting thing. You can't really see it because it's pitch black right now, but like where the caps lock and stuff is, those lights light up pretty brightly as well. But there's actually a fourth light there, and I don't know what it signifies. It says WIN. I figured it was like the Windows key or something, because usually it's caps lock, scroll lock, num lock, and that's all I've ever seen on a keyboard as far as these buttons over here go. I've never seen a fourth button before, and I haven't really played around with the keyboard enough to figure it out. One of the big things a lot of people have noted in any other review I've seen of this keyboard is the enter key is really awkward. Usually in a keyboard, the enter key, like this key right here, the / key, or is that the backslash? Yeah, that's the backslash key. Is usually above the enter key, right around this area, next to this key. And the enter key usually kind of comes out a little wider, and then it's also a little shorter. So that way when you're typing, I can't do that like that, but like you're typing and then you can like come over and hit enter with your pinky finger. Sometimes I catch myself like I'll go to hit enter, but I'll accidentally hit that key because that's where I'm expecting the enter key to be, but it's not. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot about the keyboard. If you've seen some of my videos, you might know that I like playing Smite. Another thing that's I've had to get used to is where the F keys are located. In my previous keyboard, because you play like this with W, A, S, and D, and when I use the F1 through F4 to quick level up my skills. So I'll go to like reach to level them up, and the buttons are just in different locations than I'm used to them being. I'm used to the F1 through F4 being a notch over more to the left. So sometimes when I go to level up my level 2 spell, I'll accidentally level up my level 1, or like, you know, I'm always one more to the left than I should be. But that's, you know, just personal problems because I enjoy playing Smite. Other than that, I've had no problem getting used to this keyboard. I really actually do enjoy this palm rest. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got like a texture to it. It's like rigidy, kind of bumpy, sort of. And I think it's pretty comfortable. It's not exactly like a big palm rest, but it does the job for your thumb, you know. And the shape of the keyboard, I actually really like it. It's visually, I like the way the keyboard works, and it hasn't been bad so far. It does have a couple of kickstands in the back, which was kind of important for me. When it comes to a keyboard, I'm not really looking for anything amazing, but I do need those kickstands in the back to kind of give the keyboard a little bit of an incline, because when it's flat down, it makes me do things with my wrists that I don't like doing, especially since I'm a massage therapist. I try my best to keep my wrist in as good condition as possible. Other than that, it came with some extra keys here, and it also came with a key plucker that you can use to pull the keys out. These keys are not labeled, they're completely clear, and as far as the texture of the key goes, I think they feel exactly the same as the keys that were originally there, but I can't say for sure. If anything, the extra keys have like more grip than the keys that are currently in there. Like your fingers kind of just glide across these feel like they have more grip, so maybe you would use them to, like, obviously they're replacement keys in case you lose one or if one breaks or something like that, but you could potentially use this to replace like your WASD and your arrow keys as well, since they are only fitted for this particular size. And you know, you can tell not like a huge difference, but enough of a difference to where if your hands were on it, you'd be able to tell where your fingers were. Although after you use a keyboard for so long, you already know really where your fingers are based on like the way the buttons feel around and whether you're on the F key or the J key, because the little ridges that are on those. But besides all that, there's really not a whole lot else to explain about this keyboard. I don't know the technical specs for it, but I do know that enter key has been kind of a bit of a problem for a lot of people. So if that's kind of something that you don't think you can get used to, then it's definitely something you should consider when purchasing a new keyboard. Next is the Aula Ghost Shark. Now, there is a package deal where you can get this keyboard with a mouse, but it's not that particular mouse. I got that mouse back when I first built this computer at the beginning of this year, and I've never done a review video on it because I wanted to get more things before I started doing reviews. This is it's a really neat mouse. I enjoy using it for several reasons. It's got a settings where you can change the pulsing. You can make it solid, you can make it stay one color, you can change it to multiple colors, however you want to do it. There's a bunch of different options for it. The mouse itself has anywhere from 800 to 2000 DPI, which isn't amazingly high, but depending on what type of things you're into. If you're like an FPS gamer, you might want to look for something a little bit higher than that. But for me, just playing casual games like League of Legends, Smite, play a few FPSs, RPGs, that kind of stuff, this mouse works well for me. If you're huge on RPGs, I would definitely recommend getting a mouse that probably had like a bunch of extra buttons on the side that you could program them to. But other than that, this mouse does a really good job. I actually really enjoy this mouse a lot. It's a big mouse. I'm not sure if you can really tell in that lighting. I'll just kind of set it up here for a moment. It is a wired USB mouse, so is the keyboard. They're both wired and gold-plated USBs. So this mouse is actually a pretty big mouse, which I prefer. I don't like those little mouses where it feels like you're just kind of, because the way my grip is, you know, I kind of have like a claw grip. I don't like rest my hand entirely on top of it like that. I do this thing, and it makes it easier for me with a bigger mouse because I feel like I have more control over it. It does have two buttons on the side, here and here. I don't know how well you can see those. It's a forward and backward button. You can use it to scroll pages. They're also, you can use them in games and set them to a variety of different shortcuts as well. But they aren't programmable. Or I'm sorry, they are programmable. Every button on this mouse is programmable, even the one in the middle, which I'll talk about in a moment. This mouse over here, or this button over here, is probably why I enjoy the mouse the most. It's like a macro button, where if you click it and you hold it down, it repetitively clicks the left click button. And this is really good for games like Smite and League of Legends when you're trying to buy like a bulk of potions and you don't want to keep left clicking to buy them. You can just hold that down for like 2 seconds and it'll buy out the entire stock. And that makes it, I found myself use it in a few games, although in some games it doesn't really work very well. It can kind of like make the game slow down a bit because it's trying to register all the clicks. But I have noticed in like some FPSs you can use it, and for single fire weapons like pistols and such, you can get a lot quicker rate of fire because all you have to do is hold it down. You don't have to keep left clicking. And then the middle button is the DPI switch. This mouse comes with several different profiles, so you can actually like click the DPI switch and it'll blink a color like that. And depending on what color it blinks, it kind of informs you of like which profile it's currently on. And each profile has its own DPI settings and things like that. And it's actually really cool because you can like change your DPI on the fly, which is really awesome. So like say if you're in the middle of an FPS, I sometimes find myself in the position where I'm playing an FPS and I feel like the aim down sights sensitivity is a little bit too low, but I find that when you're not aiming down sights, the sensitivity is too high. So I'll set my DPI to the lowest possible while I'm playing, and then if I go down a sniper scope, I'll quickly switch over to a higher DPI, and that way I'll be able to use the higher sensitivity and snipe out targets. Yeah, I just really like how you're able to do that on the fly like that. The mouse has grooves on this side to hold your ring finger and your pinky finger. The way I grip the mouse, it doesn't really allow for the pinky finger to rest over there because like I said, I kind of do like a claw grip, so I kind of do it like that instead of having my finger actually resting on it like that, which probably doesn't really look like that much of a difference, but in the feeling of it you can tell it's a huge difference. But that is pretty much it about it. It has a mouse wheel. Of course, it doesn't have left and right switch on the mouse wheel, which is kind of something a lot of people enjoy. But I personally don't need it. It's not that big of a deal for me. And then, of course, I've got it all resting on my gelled mouse pad with the wrist thing. Once again, massage therapist. Don't want to hurt my wrists, so I'm a little bit of a pansy when it comes to that kind of thing. But that is about it for that. I don't want to mess anything up, but as I said, I'll probably be getting a new webcam in the future, a new chair. I'm not sure which will come first. I may try playing with these extra keys sometime and seeing if there is really a difference in how they feel, but I'm not like I said, it probably is not really that big of a deal, and most likely just used for replacing previous keys, and not really necessarily something I would use to just notify me where my fingers were, because as I said, if you use a keyboard for long enough, eventually you start to understand where your fingers are eventually anyway, and you don't really need specific keys to tell you, other than like the F and J key as I mentioned. But anyways guys, I think that's going to be it for this review video. I just want to kind of showcase my keyboard and mouse for the most part, show you guys some of the new stuff I'll be working with. This particular keyboard and mouse each costed about $30 a piece, which isn't that big of a deal, you know, 60 bucks, the price of a new game for a new keyboard and new mouse. If you're trying to go for higher up stuff, this is stuff I wouldn't exactly recommend. I do consider myself an avid gamer, but I'm not like under the impression that you have to have absolutely top of the line equipment in order to be good at something. You know, I was using that dinky keyboard and a crappy mouse, and I was playing like Battlefield Hardline and coming in first place. I do think these peripherals help when you have higher grade stuff, but there's a limit to how much you can do. Ultimately, in the end, it comes down to personal skill, and that's what I truly believe. If you want to get good at a game, don't throw money at the situation thinking that that's going to make you better. Just get practice at it and get better. But I think that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'm definitely going to be getting a microphone stand soon as well. That's something I need to focus on, because the sooner I can get that pretty thing up here next to this pretty thing, I can lower the gain on the microphone and you won't hear that hiss that I just want to strangle. But anyways guys, I've allowed this video to carry on a little bit too long. I always tend to ramble near the end, don't I? Please stay tuned. Shadow of Mordor, I will be doing a video on that, if not multiple videos on that. There's a lot of games coming out this month of October. There's Evil Within. Is that what it's called? Is it called The Evil Within? I think it's called The Evil Within. Yeah, I think so. There's Alien Isolation. There's Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which I probably won't play right away, because I'm going to be doing The Evil Within, which comes out on the exact same day. And since probably everyone is going to be playing Borderlands, I'm going to go with The Evil Within to kind of offer an alternative path for the people who want to watch that instead, even if that isn't that many. Assassin's Creed Unity, that don't come out until November. There's a couple of games that come out in November. This is a really good couple of months for gaming. But anyways guys, as I said, I'm going to cut it. Stop talking, Chris. Shut up. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this little review. I hope you like the setup I'm getting into, and hopefully it'll do me some good in the future and help me out with my videos, and allow me to make better quality videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time guys, take it easy.
Hello everyone, my name is Crow, and welcome to my first review unboxing video, where I'm going to be reviewing the